Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to episode 214 of Dads from the Crypt, where we will be reviewing Predator Badlands. Joining me tonight, we have my good friend Michael Weisenberg.
Hello, and thank you for having me again, Jason.
Always a pleasure. Michael has been helping us out with our Patreon mini reviews. We'll talk about those in just a minute. So if you're familiar with him, that's where he's from. And if you haven't, go check him out. Also joining me is some dude named JT.
Hello. Always happy to be here.
Always happy to be here. Yes. Those that don't know, JT is my eldest child. So it's fun to drag him into these things. I've dragged you through many movies. As we'll talk about those later too. But it's a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, like I was saying, Michael has been on our Patreon mini reviews. We did reviews for Companion, Strange Darling, Ichi the Killer, The Ugly Stepsister. By the time this one comes out, this episode you're listening to comes out, we'll have a new one for the movie Together. And then in a couple weeks, we'll have another mini review for the football-themed horror movie Him. Especially, me and Michael have been to many football games together, so it was a good, fun discussion as to football fans. And we also have a poll out on our Patreon for the mini reviews, it's for the $3 and above level, but for our poll, it's for anybody. All you can do is just sign up to be a member. It can be the free level, but just let us know what kind of content you'd like us to cover. So I know a lot of people, we have more people that watch the show than our Patreon, even at the free level. So it'd be really helpful if you just went over to Patreon, just signed up and filled out the poll so we can know what kind of content you enjoy and what we can help you with. But today we are talking Predator Badlands, the latest in the Predator series. I think it's the 7th or 8th film, including the last two that were on Hulu exclusive, Prey and Predator Killer of Killers. Just to give our credentials, I've been a long time huge fan of the Predator series. I was a little young to see the first two when they came out in the movie theaters, but I definitely remember seeing them on TV. I very distinctly remember watching the first one. I think it's even on my parents' black and white TV. That was the TV that like I had to watch because like they were watching regular stuff and I wanted to watch whatever weird stuff was on TV. So I remember I had to watch on the black and white TV that we still had laying around, but it still was a classic the first time I saw it. And then I've also been very much into a lot of like the Dark Horse comics in the 90s that had the license for both Predator and Alien. So they did a lot of like Predator comics, and they even did like their own Alien versus Predator comic, was like kind of the first time that they like did a real crossover. And I'm actually a big fan of Predator 2. It's not obviously not as good as the first one, but it's fun. It's kind of a sillier version, but it's just really, really fun. It just really kind of goes for it. And then Predators and the Predator are pretty forgettable, but I love Prey and I really love Killer of Killers, so we're eating good in the Predator universe. Michael, what's your impression of the Predator series before we get into our review?
I got into the Predator series a lot later on, and I think my intro might have been the Predator, the newer one that came out where they were trying to make a series. And then I went back and I started watching the Predator films from the original. Saw 2, and I think I saw 3. But yeah, really enjoyed those. And then
there's no actual Predator 3.
Okay.
Actually, you know what, Mike?
I saw some other one. Like you and I were talking before the show, the one with Topher Grace.
That's Predators, which is technically the third movie.
Yes, where they're on a random.
You know what?
Yeah,
I have a very distinct memory of Michael, you and I think my sister and a bunch of other people going to see Predator versus Alien Requiem, like on Christmas or something.
I don't think I was there, sir. But yeah,
I could have sworn you were there that night.
I think I was. Yeah, because I don't even know if I'd seen an Alien then. Like, I don't think I've seen any of the AVPs, which is too bad. I need to get into because I love xenomorphs as well.
Badlands is a better AVP movie without any aliens in it.
Yeah, Yeah. It's
we'll get into that.
we'll definitely get into Predator Badlands because like very much enjoyed that off the bat. Loved Prey.
Yeah.
Killer of Killers was really cool. I think Prey and Badlands honestly like are kind of similar planes to me. I think we were talking about it also. Dan Trachtenberg, the person that's kind of taken over this franchise, has done some fantastic stuff with these last 3 Predator movies. So yeah. It was really cool. And yeah, I'm glad to be part of it now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, JT, what's your Predator credentials?
Yes, I am definitely very new to the franchise. Only saw the first one a couple years ago, and I've seen Prey, Killer of Killers, and now this newest one. I've loved every one that I've watched, and I've been wanting to get into some of the less good ones because I love what I've seen of the franchise, and even if they might not be as good, I still think they're probably worth seeing. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of all those, I would definitely recommend Predator 2. The rest of them you can kind of skip, but if you're just for funsies, you can watch them. They're not terrible. They're just forgettable.
Yeah. No.
I'm
sure I'll still enjoy watching them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's get into it again. We're talking Predator Badlands. Just to give a quick synopsis, a young Yautja outcast named Deck is banished from his clan for being weak and unworthy. After which, so his father gets Deck's brother to try to kill him, but he refuses. So the father kills Deck's brother, sending Deck off to this planet where Deck wants to go find the trophy of the most deadly animal in the universe, on the most deadly planet in the universe, where every creature is both hunter and prey. There, Deck encounters Thea, a damaged Weyland-Yutani android stranded on the planet. Together, they fight to survive vicious beasts in the planet's brutal environment as Deck pursues the ultimate kill to earn his honor. But he questions his people's code of strength and what truly means to be a hunter. The movie climaxes with Deck facing the planet's apex creature and his own identity, leading to a hard-won transformation that redefines what it means to be a predator. I didn't write that.
It's still, right. It pretty much delves into the main themes of the film. Yeah,
for sure. All right, Michael, start us off. Tell us what you thought about Predator Badlands.
Well, first off, I thought the beginning scene with him fighting the brother off the bat really, really cool. So Deck and Quay in the cave, and he's kind of going after his cloak. That's the key there. And then you need to go on that big hunt, and that kind of leads to everything. His dad, who he somewhat idolizes, turns out to be kind of a dick, and he wants his brother to off him. His brother says let him do the hunt because either way, like he's
what's he got to lose?
Going one way or the other. You either catch it or you die. But his dad was pretty insistent, and then kind of just was like, okay, yeah, you do the hunt now when I kill your brother. So he has something to base it on. So like now, like this is his whole life basically. And then he goes to Genna, I believe it's pronounced, and that planet, good lord, that is what do you guys think of the planet itself? Like,
it was cool.
There's a lot of shit going on there.
Yeah, I like the razor glass.
Yeah,
like the feel of razor glass.
Yes, razor. Yeah,
I'm surprised there's not more predators on the planet. It seems like it'd be their favorite thing.
Yeah,
everything there is either a weapon or something to use a weapon on.
Yeah, and I also love that Deck used all of the things he saw on the planet. Like, you see that they just come up with all these tools, and like, they're so good at using everything in terms of like technology and adapting to their environment. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool aspect as well, where he kind of learns what's going on and uses it to his advantage.
Yeah. I love the scene right after he crashed where he's laying out all his weapons on it, only for everything to immediately get stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the vines or kind of Wizard of Oz-esque trees going on there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, those trees are terrifying. Yeah, I mean, obviously this is an extremely unorthodox movie, in the Predator universe. It's pretty much always the same thing where you have a group of humans being hunted one by one by a predator. And if anything, that was the one knock on Prey. It was like, okay, I understand it's a completely different setting, which was really cool and all, but it's also still kind of the same movie where they're still figuring it out. Like, as the audience, we know all this. I mean, at least most people have seen other movies. But like, to have the idea of having a Predator movie with no humans whatsoever and having the Predator be the main star is genius.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, like this is such a well written movie. Like, we understand why the Predator's doing what he's doing, what his motivations are, and how he kind of like the way like he has a code that he's very strict on, but the way he kind of starts to bend it little bit by little bit, because so he runs into Thea, which is a mangled synthetic. And at first, Thea wants him to help her because she's lost her legs. And she's like, I know this planet, I can help you navigate it. And he's like, no, a predator hunts alone. But she's like, well, I'm not a person. You can think of me as a tool. So he's like, oh, okay, a tool, fine.
Yeah.
Which, it's the internal like philosophy of like, is an android sentient, yada yada yada. But like, he's like, at that point, he's like, oh, okay, fine, I'm willing to do that. To the point where like by the end of the movie, he's just like, f the code to a degree.
Yeah, well, and she kind of plays him really well. Like that, that's the other thing. Like, she is super adaptable also, and the fact that she has emotions, she and Thea, and then she's linked to this other synthetic, Tessa, and they both have emotions, where there are all these guys who look the exact same, who I have no idea what any of their names are, but they're just a bunch
they're all
of
just the
synthetic
same,
dudes.
They're all just the same like model synthetic.
Yeah. It's like the clones in Star Wars. Yeah, they're just a bunch of synthetic dudes who all look the same. That guy must have gotten a bunch of different checks.
Yeah, I mean, or they were just like different actors with like face, replacements.
Possible,
like stuntman. But yeah, I love the part at the end which mirrors the first Predator, where Arnold kind of like is using stuff in the forest to kind of like get ready to battle. And then when the Predator is like, okay, I'm gonna go save Thea, he goes through all the stuff that like was trying to kill him and finds ways to use them to his advantage. So like he takes the blades of razor grass and makes like a whip out of them, and then like there's that slug that spits acid, and because he doesn't have any of his tools, so he uses that instead of his shoulder cannon. He uses the slug and throws like the berries or whatever the slug likes at people.
Yeah, he basically tames the slug that Thea had taught him. And then also those badass worms that explode.
Oh yeah, the exploding worms.
The exploding worms, like that was rad.
The scene at the beginning where he throws one and it explodes, and he kind of goes, "Huh, yeah." That's so good. My entire theater burst out laughing at that.
Yeah, and the fact that like it's like a physical act. I mean, it's obviously an actor in the physical suit with like obviously in CG replacement, but they're still using like the actor's performance to give us those moments. You can really like to have a Predator emoting, without speaking, or speaking very little at points. It's just well acted, well directed. It's amazing that at this day and age, with this at the 7th installment of a franchise, and the action is really well directed. The scene where Thea's legs take out like a whole bunch of synthetics.
That's cool. Very cool. And then let's also talk about Bud.
Let's talk about Bud. Tell me about Bud.
Bud is like at first you're kind of like, oh, is Bud like kind of like a Jar Jar Binks, like
or like Baby Yoda?
Oh yeah. Bud turns out to be just fantastic. First off, like and like Bud immediately feels somewhat of a connection to them. Kind of saves their life and everything like that, and you see Deck going by like his Yautja code and like leaving Bud there and not really caring when Bud spits on him, and Thea like basically Deck wanting to kill him for doing that, and then Thea being like, well, that is like her accepting you into her clan. And then I like the kind of callback there as soon as he does see the mother Calic, and yeah, I thought that was really cool. And like you immediately you're like, oh man, like that like totally saved his life. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that was
again,
really cool.
that's just good writing, set up and
Yeah,
payoff.
absolutely.
And I knew that they were going to have to find some reason to justify keeping Bud around. And I was not expecting that it ended up being him being at the child Calisk, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I mean,
definitely think it was a great way to do it.
once the Calyx smelled him and stopped, I was like, oh, okay, it's the mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, of course, I love with the movie. It was like every Indiana Jones movie where like a character is after something, but they never actually attain it. That
Mhm.
it's like the thing that they've been going after, but it turns out they don't. You know, the MacGuffin is just the MacGuffin, and it turns out that's not what they actually wanted or anything. Um, yeah, like this movie has so much heart, which again you wouldn't expect from a Predator movie, especially with the one starring an alien and not the humans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I care more about this alien than I did like pretty much any character in any Predator movie.
Yeah.
I mean, up to Prey probably, but
I mean, the predators in the other movies don't even really have like names.
no, they're
Like,
not names. They're
they're
like, you know, they're
Yautjas,
just
but yeah, you don't really know much about them. And
Yeah,
I
just
love, like you said, like going into the aspect where the predator is the main character.
mhm.
yeah. And it made me wonder, is there a full Yautja language that's been made for the movies? Or are
Yeah,
they
so
just mechanic sounds?
they got the person who made the Navi language from Avatar to make like a whole Predator language, or at least enough for what they needed for the movie.
Oh, so I was
But
created
again,
just
like
for this movie?
yeah, well, yeah, I as far as I know.
Okay.
But also, yeah, it's because I got a trailer for the new Avatar, so like I was kind of primed to be thinking about that. I'm like, this planet kind of blows Pandora away in a lot as far as dangerous, because I remember them talking about like how
Oh,
dangerous Pandora was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but
By the way, saw a trailer for Avatar Fire and Ash.
yeah,
Could not be less excited for a movie.
I know. Did you and I see the first one together? I can't remember. We've seen so many
No,
movies
I
together.
saw it in Toronto.
Okay,
But yeah,
somebody.
very,
Remember
very
who it
out.
was.
Yeah. The second one I thought was so bad. But yeah. Oh, also, how cool is it that it's Wayland Yutani? Like as soon as she said she was from Wayland Yutani, and you're like, oh
Mhm.
my god, like the alien connection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Before watching it. I mean, obviously I saw some of that, but like it was cool because they were talking to the director. Someone was talking. I saw an interview, and the director was just going to have like a random human or like some other like alien or something like that stuck in there. But he's like, that's been done so much. Let's think of something that's a little more original than just like a human or whatever, and to have them kind of team up. It's like, well, what if it was an android? That's different. That's interesting. Wait, who else has androids? Whalen Yutani, and we
Yeah.
can make that. So, like I said, this is like a better Alien versus Predator movie than the other two that actually had aliens in them.
Yeah. One
Um,
thing I think this movie did really well is even if you know nothing about the Predator or Alien franchise
mhm.
previously, you can still enjoy the movie. You get enough context from this
Yes,
movie
Absolutely.
alone.
totally.
Absolutely. That's a great
That,
point, JT.
that's an issue that a lot
Um,
of other big franchises have where you have to have watched everything in order to understand what's going on. And I think this movie handled it really well.
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely walked
Even
that
like the
line.
Easter eggs, like you're talking about with Deck when he's using everything from the planet, like Arnold used in the first Predator. Like, yeah, like
You don't
you
need
can
that.
connect
Yeah,
that if you've seen the first Predator, but that it's not like a necessary thing to know what was happening with this movie.
mhm,
Yeah.
totally. And then again, like when you have the other robot Tessa talking to Mother is
Mhm.
is a big thing from the Alien series.
Yeah.
And also like to see how much Tessa was like trying to please Mother, which is a very android thing. But like again, I was reading, I went down the rabbit hole in some Reddits and stuff,
Yeah.
and because
No,
this
no.
movie is kind of doesn't really, we don't know where in either timeline it takes place. There's no indication.
Mhm.
And the director himself said he wanted to make it as far out as possible to not have to deal with any continuities. So like for all we know, like humanity could have just be extinct at this point, and these are just like AIs are just running their programs and trying to still build better worlds and stuff. Um, we don't know if there's any humans left or what Weyland-Yutani is really up to. There's just kind of like all these like AIs are just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah, well, I feel like there must have been some human aspect to it as well because of the Calisk and the regenerative.
Well, I'm saying if at some point Weyland-Yutani set up an AI to like say, okay, go out to all the worlds you can and find things that could better humanity.
Yeah,
and then just like ad nauseum, just
yeah.
Go. You know, they could just be going off doing their thing.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah,
just a fan
I feel like the Calisk is something very human connected, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we find out that it can regenerate, which is also really cool. I like the way they did that too, where it regenerates from like the inside out.
Yeah,
that was a really cool effect.
Yeah. And even when the head gets chopped off, it like the neck like goes and reaches towards it. Like what?
Yeah. And one question I did have that's an inevitable question from these two unit or franchises come together. What would happen if a facehugger got on a Calisk?
Good God.
Oh
yeah,
man.
I would not want to be around when that chest burster comes out.
Well, I guess the big question is, because of its regeneration, could it be impregnated?
Yeah.
Because okay, I'm gonna get real geeky for a second, but there was a comic book where Superman ran into a group of aliens, but because he was on another part of the galaxy that wasn't in the sun's light, he was depowered. So that's the only way an alien could impregnate him. But before the alien was able to burst out, he was able to get into the rays of the sun and get his powers back. He was able to just like spit out the alien. So
yeah.
And
again, that's the super.
How does a Calisk have children, by the way? Like, because we see the mother Calisk, we never see the father.
I mean, it could be asexual.
Possible.
Who knows?
Yeah. Could be like you cut off a wrist and a hand, and if it can't get it back, it turns into its own thing.
Yeah.
Which is what I thought they were going to do. How Deck was going to get his trophy would be cut off the head. The Calisk gets a new head.
And have a second one.
The one that didn't stay.
What was the skull that he gave his dad?
That was Tessa's skull.
It was Tessa's, the android.
And it worked because it wasn't the Calisk. It was the thing that killed the Calisk. Therefore, it's a better trophy.
Yeah. I did have that thought.
Okay.
That, like,
that puts a lot together. Gosh, I didn't even realize that.
I did like your theory that he could just cut the head off a Calisk and then just grow another one and just give that one back.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then Elle Fanning, I've not seen that much stuff she's been in, but I thought she was delightful. Like she's really good. With a little bit like manic Disney princessy, but like because she's an android, there's like she was able to play it with a bit of artificialness that was like straddle the line of being annoying, but also kind of like, again, it was had an artificiality bit behind it, like someone that was just like trying to be too nice. That I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed both of her performances, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like she did two fantastic performances, and I like the part where she's like playing Tessa and she like flips her eyeball up. I thought that was really cool. I thought she's been great in so many different things. Like I think she was in Super 8 like back in the day too, and really great actress.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize till halfway through the movie that it was the same actor playing both Tessa and Thea.
Yeah.
Again,
they made them look
both of them.
They made them look different enough where I was like, I wasn't entirely sure. Yeah. I just kind of figured because that's just usually what these movies do with those kind of things. It'd be funny if they had Dakota playing one and Elle playing the other one.
True.
Yeah.
Make them like little sisters. That would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's really straddled that line that like if this was like I felt like if Star Wars tried to make a movie like this, it would have fallen under the weight of that kind of stuff. But I think Dan Trachtenberg was able to like pull it through without falling too deep. Like he's able to give it heart without making it schmaltzy.
Yeah. And what character in Star Wars could like do what like Deck did in this movie? Like,
I'm just saying, like not literally, but like, I mean, because we have like the Mandalorian and the Grogu movie coming out, and I'm like, is it going to be like? I feel like it's getting a little too sentimental. What's also interesting is that like this is the first PG-13 Predator movie.
Really?
And I remember when I saw that, a lot of people were getting worried that, like, oh
Yeah.
no, they're cutting back the violence. But this is just as violent as any of the other
Yeah,
movies.
yeah,
It's just there's no humans. So
yeah.
like the
They get away with
arbitrary
it.
rating is like,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
the blood isn't red, therefore
We didn't
we
kill
don't care.
humans. We just killed a bunch of synthetics. Who cares?
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
blood. That's just robot blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All robot lives matter. But
Can we get into the clan and like the wolf pack kind of thing?
okay,
'Cause
yeah,
I
go
was
off on
telling
that.
you yesterday, yeah. So I listened to a podcast called Behind the Bastards, and they were talking about somebody who's trying to or whose goal was to basically bring back the dire wolf. And also they were talking about, you know, like the alpha beta and everything like that. And here, like Thea talks to Deck about wolves and there being an alpha, and the alpha is not the person that kills the most, but it's the person that protects the pack. Well, it turns out that the person who did the study on wolves, which is like a vast thing in so many parts of society now, with alpha males and so on and so forth, it turns out that the wolf pack that they were studying was actually in captivity. And wolf packs in the wild do not have alphas or betas or any of those. Like, it's a completely different structure. So the person that did that study has been trying to disprove that study over years and years. So as soon as I saw the alpha wolf thing, I was like, oh, damn it. Like, you know, we got this again and all that. And I love the tie-in. I loved how he, you know, kind of took on that, at least what he was told and everything like that. But
The metaphor.
I just thought that study as a whole, like, I wish more people were like, oh yeah, like that's not a thing.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, that's funny. Did anyone else equate Deck to kind of like Drax from like the Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit? Because he's like a very literal warrior guy.
Yeah.
Or is that just me?
I don't know. Yeah.
No, I can see the similarities, but I wouldn't say it's like derivative of Drax. He's definitely his own character.
Well, yeah. It just kind of went through my head a little bit. I was like it just felt like the voice, some of the angers of the voice is kind of like echoed something. And then kind of going to the end bit. There's, first of all, I love that the quote end, the stinger, the post credit comes literally right after the movie is ended. Like, we're not gonna make you wait.
That was good.
Like, yeah, it's like I don't think any credits actually played. Just show the title again.
Yeah.
And then we get the little stinger where
I appreciate that a lot. Yeah.
Another ship is coming, and Tessa or Thea's like, friends of yours? He's like, no, it's my mother.
Yeah.
It's such a funny joke. Like, I mean, it's not like highbrow or anything. It's just like, okay. And it's interesting again because in the vein of Guardians of the Galaxy, and the kind of a big theme is kind of like the found family. So like it's kind of a found clan movie. But of course, you know, the mother, the matriarch is showing up. So and we've never really seen like gendered predators. So this was the first time we didn't really see much from their perspective. So we've never seen them like refer to, you know, him, her, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of setting that up. There's a lot of theories about like, is the mother going to be related to like the warrior, the main warrior from the end of Killer of Killers? Is the movie's going to kind of converge? I don't know if we're going to get like a direct sequel to this. If we do, my guess is it might be kind of like Killer of Killers, where it's like animated style. We'll see. I mean, this did very well in the US box office. It's doing okay overseas. It's not as big of a franchise as Alien, but it did about the same in the US as Romulus did for the first weekend. Nice. But Romulus did much better overseas.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was a person that liked Romulus.
What's up?
I liked Romulus. I thought
I like parts. I have issues with some of it, but again, that's the thing in Romulus. Parts of it leaned really, really heavy into like callbacks. The get away from her, you bitch line.
Yeah,
Where this movie didn't need to do that. Like, no one, at no point did anyone look at the callus or something and say, you're one ugly motherfucker. Like, thank God.
Yeah.
Where that's exactly what Romulus did. And
can you
that was
imagine
like,
life on Yacha Prime though? Like
oof.
if they did something like that, it'd be like a cross between like Curb Your Enthusiasm and like The Wire, with like people just constantly getting offed. Like,
Yeah.
like it must be so easy to offend a Yautja. Like, God.
Right.
Which begs the question: how does a species that has so much difficulty cooperating advance that much technologically?
Honestly,
Yeah.
they must all just be geniuses.
Yeah. But again, well, one thing I was gonna say, like, again, in all the other Predator movies, we have this like super powered Predator who has like all these cool gadgets and stuff, and it's just really, again, really smart that they completely depower this one and like take everything away from the beginning. So like he has to like build himself back up. It's very much, you know, basic hero story stuff, but again, it just does it so smartly and efficiently. I don't know. I kind of like this a little bit better than Prey. I like Prey a lot, but I think it's just a little bit more original. I mean, compared to the first, outside the first one, you know, it's just way more original. Again, there's also recency bias, but like, I don't know. I kind of put this right behind the original, and then maybe Prey 2, then maybe Killer of Killers, then Prey, and then the others are just kind of around. I don't know.
Yeah. Hard to rank for me. I liked Prey just because also it takes place in a time where like technology wasn't really a thing. Like their technology was so primitive. So like, you know, they see this and they're like, what in the fuck? And like, you know, just dealing with that. Yeah, just and like the vibe of it and kind of like renewing the franchise. But the aspects of this, like where it's told from the Predator's point of view, I I think that won me over, honestly, Jason. Like you stating it like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is so cool to have something like that. Like they're such a fascinating species. And like you would love to see more of their world and like, you know, and what's a planet that like scares the shit out of them, you know, like that kind of thing. And yeah, so that was really cool about this movie. And yeah, it was a blast, man. I had a really good time.
I do wonder if the fact that Prey wasn't theatrically released, that like it didn't hit quite as hard as this one might have. If that was like
that's possible.
As far as like how I remember and feel about the movie.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
JT.
Yeah. Sorry.
You look like you're saying something.
Yeah. I like both of them for different things. This one definitely had a lot more action. Prey had a lot more suspense. If I were to rewatch one of them right now, I would choose Badlands, but I still really like Prey. So yeah.
Again, we just saw it, so there's a lot of recency bias there too. So in a few weeks, who knows how we feel? But and Prey had really cool characters and like cool relationships happening as well. But this one is just like something we never seen before. And again, you couldn't have released Badlands before Prey. You know, as far like the franchise needed to get to this point.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you know, I love Killer of Killers. I thought it was excellent. So I'm really curious what they do next. If they are going to really give us an Alien versus Predator, like how would someone as smart as Dan Trachtenberg seems to be about this stuff, how would he handle that? I'm here for it.
Yeah, I definitely think they could do a sequel off of either this one or Killer of Killers. They could do another original story, however they're going to continue. We're definitely going to get a sequel. I mean, this one is doing well enough that we're going to get something more.
Yeah.
So.
And that, if anything, the fan response has been very big on it.
Yeah.
So, also, not much better revenge than a callus biting his father's head off. That was really cool. That was a great way to end the movie.
Killed the one thing he fears.
All right. All right, let's do our episode rating. Again, we do 0 to 5, 5 being the best, 0 being the worst. Michael, what do you rate this movie?
I'm going to give it a 4.
4.
Yeah.
JT.
I'm gonna give it a solid 5. It was just so much fun to watch.
Very cool. I'll split the difference at 4.5. Like
Nice.
if like the original Predator is 5, this is just like one step behind it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's our review of Predator Badlands. Let's do take a quick break for a shout out. Who should we do? Let's do this guy.
Hi, this is Joe Dante, and you're listening to Dads from the Crypt.
Good old Mr. Dante saying hi. All right. For our song of the day, usually Mondo is here to do that. Him and Jody weren't able to make it to the theater. Mondo likes to pick usually some obscure metal band of some sort and have like a big background or something. I'm just going with something that I just found a really esoteric connection. At least it is to me. There's a gentleman, or you could say a rapper actor from the 90s who had a very good day. Such a good day, he didn't have to use his AK. Yes, our song of the week is It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. Michael, what's the connection?
I have no idea. What is the connection?
You're a big 90s hip hop guy, aren't you?
Oh, I am a 90s hip hop guy. Absolutely. So that's the connection?
What album is the song on?
Oh, Predator! Oh my god, that is the connection. Oh my gosh, ain't no stopping what can't be stopped. No killing what can't be killed. Yeah, all the Predator. Oh gosh, that's funny, man.
I was just literally opening my Spotify. I'm like, okay, something to do with Predators. And I'm like, wait, isn't there an Ice Cube album? Which songs are on it? Yes, perfect.
100%.
It's also it's a damn good song. It's a good song to just literally just drive around and just chill out to.
Oh god, the beat, yeah. Great song.
Yeah, there's plenty of good tracks on that album too. So, song of the week, It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube off of his album The Predator.
Yes.
All right. Jody's not here for any horror news, so we'll skip that. We'll get plenty to talk about. For our data device section, JT.
Oh no.
You are my oldest spawn, so you and I have spent many times watching movies together. I've taken upon myself to educate you in the ways of film, especially horror, sci-fi genre movies. During the COVID, JT lives up in Oregon with his mother, and I live in California. And he's coming down for a break, so I drove up to get him and drove back. But we wanted to quarantine before going with reintegrating with my wife and my other kids. So I picked up as many movies as I could to watch, and Predator was one of them.
First time I ever saw it.
Yeah, but we also watched another movie.
Yes, we watched or attempted to watch John Carpenter's The Thing. We got to the part with the dogs, and I couldn't do it after that. Gave me nightmares for a week. So, yeah.
But you've watched, even before that, you've watched Nightmare on Elm Street. You watched, Halloween and plenty of other like horror, sci-fi adjacent stuff. So,
yeah.
A thing that we get often talk about on the show, people ask us like, what movies to show your kids or how to know, when to introduce your kids to stuff. And what I always talk about is how, follow your kids' instincts, follow your kids' cues. Obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street wasn't the first movie I showed you. We kind of worked up to that. And then, I assume based on all those other things that that the Thing would be an appropriate movie. And I think for most of it, you could, but I didn't really anticipate the animal body horror to be such a trigger. And, sometimes parents don't know that. So really, I'm using this as like a therapy session for you and I to like talk through this incident.
I think I could watch it again now. I think I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just I don't know what it was at the time, but
well, that's the thing. I think I mean, this whole website dedicated to does the dog die? You know, I think people sometimes have a different reaction to animal violence on screen compared to people. And we're just so used to, you know, people being, you know, turned into things or whatever it is. But again, so it's kind of like try to know your kid's triggers, but sometimes you don't know what's going to trigger a kid. And it's not like I force you to sit there and watch the rest of it. We just kind of like, okay, that's not for us. And, you know, we didn't make it a huge thing or anything. You kind of listening to your kids, and, you know, luckily you were able to, you know, tell me that you were not having it at that point. And I was like, okay, we're going to stop that right there. So that's kind of my dad advice to you when you're trying to, you know, it's good. I think it's good to expand your kids, you know, horizons and expose them to things and any art really, but to also, you know, listen to them when they tell you this is too much or I don't like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Great advice. Definitely. Glad we stopped it when we did. Again, I want to watch it again. But I do appreciate that you just stopped it and we were able to move on to something else.
All right. Anything anyone else wants to throw out there before we wrap up?
Yeah, quick question. How was that child's game supposed to work?
The what? Oh, the same way as the three clamshells. Have you seen Demolition Man, JT?
No.
Okay, I'll put down the list of movies we gotta watch.
Yeah.
Just want to say it was a pleasure being with the Stein boys, and yeah, really glad to do it. Great seeing you, JT.
Yeah, good seeing you too.
All right, Michael, any plugs you want to make for anything else you're working on or any socials?
Just NBA Draft Mikey V on Twitter and name Michael Weisenberg. Very easy to find.
All right. JT, anything you want to plug?
Nope.
All right. Well, that wraps up another episode. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We thank everyone for listening. We would really appreciate it if you give us a rating and review on iTunes, a rating on Spotify, a like and subscribe on YouTube, and follow us at Dads from the Crypt Talk on TikTok. With that, we thank you for listening to Dads from the Crypt.
Follow Dads from the Crypt on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or I will follow you to the grave. No, seriously, you really should watch. But be careful what you ask for. You may get it.